Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. This is the morning announcements with Bomani Armah on July 13th, 2023. We are pouring libations for author Ashe, and we are rocking out with the Beatbox Dads. Make sure to like, share, follow, and to subscribe. Go to the video details for links to anything discussed in the show. Let's get started.
1 2 1 2 3 4. Welcome everyone to the morning announcements. I'ma say my name so you can pronounce it. Bomani Armah. Shout out to early risers, I see who you are. My morning ritual, thanks for having me over. Start with audio visual dose of Sankofa. My favorite occasions a few moons away. I'm counting rotations to watermelon day. If you're with me this morning, I hope that you're with it. 2 things that I want and 3 ways to get it. Black solidarity, African independence. Honor the ancestors, prepare descendants. 3rd thing you gotta do is love right now. I mean that in every sense and every way you know how. Now throw them up and say what should increase on 1 2 3. Peace.
All right, let's do the mic.
1 2 1 2. Mic check. Welcome to the morning announcements with Bomani Armah on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. I am Bomani Armah. We are 22 days away from Watermelon Day at Sankofa. We are here to honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, and love right now. Make sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to my partners broadcasting the morning announcements, including Bloom Bars, Story Tapestries, Sankofa Video, and Books. Go to the link in the description to find out more. Friends, let's get right to our libation, and that is for Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. Arthur Ashe, born July 10th, 1943 to February 6th, 1993, an American professional tennis player who won 3 Grand Slam singles titles. He started to play tennis at 6 years old. He was the first black player selected to the United States Davis Cup team and the only black man ever to win the singles title at Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Australian Open. He retired in 1980. He was ranked world number 1 in 1975. That year, Ashe was awarded the Martini and Rossi Award, voted by a panel of journalists, and the ATP Player of the Year Award. In the ATP computer rankings, he peaked at number 2 in May of 1976. Here is our quote from Arthur Ashe. If I were to say, God, why me, about the bad things, then I should have said, God, why me, about the good things that happened in my life. Arthur Ashe. This is a powerful quote coming from Arthur Ashe. Let me read that again. If I were to say, God, why me, about the bad things, then I should have said, God, why me, about the good things that happened in my life. Arthur Ashe is a case study in triumphing over hard times, an example of tragedy being too big for any of us. Being able to fight through racial segregation to achieve his dreams of being a tennis star, Arthur shocked the nation and inspired his people. He did the same as one of the most famous names to fall during the beginning of the AIDS epidemic. He fought until the last moment, though, advocating for Black people, for AIDS victims, for humanity in general. He used every sand in his hourglass without regret and without asking God why. Ashe understood what he was blessed with and kept that in forefront of his mind, even through the hard times. Thank you for being such a great example, Arthur Ashe. Let's pour libation for Arthur Ashe. We never forget, so never fear. For homies who ain't here, we pouring out a beer. Because of you, it'll never be the same. We keep saying your name while we pour champagne. For the mothers and the father figures, your flames to flickers, we pouring out some liquor. We're the sons and the daughters of heroes and martyrs. Honor you by pouring out some water. Friends, today's libation is for one Mr. Arthur Ashe. All right, friends, as I said earlier, we are 22 days away from Watermelon Day at Sankofa. That is our annual celebration of summertime, watermelon, and everything red, black, and green. It's going to be happening Saturday, August 5th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please come out to Sankofa Video and Books, 2714 Georgia Avenue. We will be there from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. You will know you're in the right place when you hear the drums and you see Baba C welcoming everybody in. Also, you can plant a seed in what we are doing by getting this Watermelon Day t-shirt designed by Zudeka and James Terrell. We really are serious about celebrating watermelon in this community, and this is a great way for you to both support that and support the artists who come and perform at Watermelon Day. All right, now, friends, I usually like keeping the morning announcements kind of lighthearted, but I really, researching Arthur Ashe for the Libation, I really wanted to get into Arthur Ashe and his moment in time in history. I actually have the last public speech by Arthur Ashe before he succumbed to the AIDS virus. I'm actually going to play that for you. It gives us great context to the time period. It also lets us look this man right in the eye as he faced death, and he was still using his time to encourage people and to educate people. So yeah, we're going to go with Mr. Arthur Ashe's final message. Here we go.
Hello, and I am sorry I was unable to attend in person the Connecticut Forum on AIDS, but I did want to make this tape to bring a few messages to you as you are assembled and talk about this vital subject. I have known, of course, that I have AIDS since September 1988 and lived a relatively free life with very few opportunistic infections until just recently. I have done quite a bit of reading and research on the subject, and most of you know that last summer I formed the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS to raise money for AIDS-related projects and also to raise public awareness and help educate the public about this pandemic. I talked to some high school students, especially those in, I guess, what we call inner city neighborhoods, who are very, very cynical to begin with. They usually don't believe much of what they hear from anyone. The system has never worked for them, and they are loath to accept anything that they hear on face value. And when you are 16, 17, 18 years old and your hormones are raging, and it is a status symbol for you to claim as many sexual conquests as possible, along being able to memorize the latest rap record, well then they are ripe for heterosexual transmission of the virus that causes AIDS. We've also learned that just providing them with the information is not nearly enough. That is, it is not enough that one of these kids, a boy or a girl, would sit down and correctly answer every question on some AIDS test. That is not what really matters in the final result. What really matters is that when the appropriate time arrives, they will do the appropriate thing and either abstain or use condoms. If you were to walk into a typical urban high school with 10th or 11th graders and talk about abstinence or safe sex as the only avenues open, in particular abstinence, they're going to laugh at you. Not only laugh at you, won't even listen to you anymore. We have to be practical and reasonable. American teenagers are having sex more often than ever before. And that being the case, if we want to contain the spread of AIDS as much as possible, we have to realize that some consensus-driven way must be arrived at whereby we make it possible for them to contain the spread of what may be AIDS passing back and forth among them. My own personal experience of living with this situation for now 4.5 years, even finding some solace in the fact that based on expectations back in September of '88, when I found out I had AIDS, that I am a long-term survivor. Most people don't even get this far. I'm now quite familiar with many of the problems, medical and otherwise, that AIDS patients have to go through. There is still a tremendous amount of work to be done with the public to assure them that ordinary contact with people like myself poses absolutely no danger to them. I can sneeze in their presence, I can cough in their presence, we can drink out of the same glass, we can use the same knife, fork, or spoon, we can kiss, and you're not going to transmit the virus. You cannot get this virus. No need to worry about that. And I hope that the Connecticut Forum in its deliberations makes that very clear, because there is still a lot of common public misconceptions about modes of transmission out there. Lastly, AIDS patients are not to be pitied. None of us want pity. We do want compassion. We do want understanding. Life is going to be difficult enough as it is without people engaging in acts of violence against us. And I saw about a month ago, just after Thanksgiving, a New York Times report that about a third of people who were publicly declared to be HIV positive have had to undergo some physical violence against them. School children in some places still want to shun someone who has AIDS or is HIV positive. I hope the forum addresses those common everyday problems, because there's no truth to that and no need for anyone to have to undergo that. Again, thanks for your patience. I am sorry I could not be there in person, but I hope this tape and my message in a small way makes up for my lack of being there in person. Thank you and good luck.
Friends, that was the last message from Mr. Arthur Ashe. He would die from AIDS-related pneumonia within a couple of days of making that video. At that video, there's a couple of interviews. I remember Arthur Ashe. This is like me being 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old when I was learning about Arthur Ashe near the end of his life, when he had that amazing tennis career in the 70s. But I remember him being able to speak strongly directly into the camera about whatever the topic was, and us being heartbroken that he had AIDS. This is before Magic Johnson had contracted it, and then has survived since then, kind of amazingly. But it's interesting just going back and seeing the concerns that we had in 1991, 92, 93, trying to figure out the AIDS epidemic. One of my first jobs as an educator, as it was being a sex educator for the concerned Black men under my homegirl and my mentor, Miss Cheryl Hart Johnson. And Arthur is completely correct in understanding that you can't teach abstinence only. You got to be realistic with young people and what's going on. I also loved him talking about not wanting to be pitied, but wanting compassion. That goes directly into the quote that he was saying about just thanking God for everything. He's not going to be mad at God for the things that went wrong. He's going to, take both of them, the good and the bad. And I'm really glad that we had a chance to hear his voice. I'm glad we poured libation for that man, because he was a very strong figure and he fought for a whole bunch of different communities. So once again, we are pouring libation for one Mr. Arthur Ashe. All right, now, friends, I know that's something really heavy to carry on a Thursday morning. Even though I'm inspired by it, I hope you're not brought down by it. But I know the next thing I'm about to do for you is about to bring up your spirits. I'm about to play my brothers for you. My brothers in this group called the Beatbox Dads. That's Max Beats and Jamal, Mr. Root. They are an amazing duo, and they do music for like the littlest kids. All right. This is us really preparing the next generation, making sure they know what their letters sound like. This is one of their latest videos on their YouTube channel. They're doing a series and they're actually piloting this. They're trying to get on television, and I'm trying to put a push with them too, because these are my boys. Please give it up for the Beatbox Dads featuring the letter B.
Beatbox Dads.
B. B. Beep, beep, beep. Beep.
ba, B, ba, Biba, Biba, B, 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 Biba, Biba, B, 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 B.
BB. Friends, that was the Beatbox Dads, Mr. Roots and Max. They were amazing. Thank y'all very much. Friends, that is our episode. We are coming up on the year anniversary of the morning announcements. Thank y'all very much. I said this when I started, that I am flying the plane while I am building it, and now I have a better idea of how I want this plane to be designed. I was making sure that I at least got through the whole year before I dedicated myself to doing this again, but I'm realizing how much I'm learning myself, how this is turning me into the modern griot that I always wanted to be. This is making me the educator that I always wanted to be. This is keeping me in tune with my community and with my ancestors. So thank y'all very much. Make sure you're supporting the morning announcements. Go get the morning announcements merch at notarapper.com. Honor the ancestors. Hold up, let me get the effect. Honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, and love right now. You can find it out there. I'm going to be having a whole bunch more conversations over the next couple of weeks about how I want my audience to be more involved in the next season of the morning announcements. But thank you very much. I really appreciate this, friends. There's one last thing to do, and that is to play the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, by J. Rosamond Johnson and James Weldon Johnson. Here we go. I'm okay. Y'all didn't see that. I'm okay. Friends, that was the Black National Anthem by James Weldon Johnson and J. Rosamond Johnson. That is my program for today. There are three things that I need you to do today. Honor the ancestors, prepare the descendants, love right now. When I count to three, I need everyone to say peace, throw up the deuces, and I'll see y'all on Monday. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Hold it now, melon is sweet, the water is life. So every time we meet, I'ma give you a slice, cause I'm the watermelon man. I'm the watermelon man. I got the juice and plant the seeds. I reap the fruit and give you what you need, cause I'm the watermelon man. I'm the watermelon man. It's the watermelon man, reppin' red, black, and green. The county of PG sends you greetings from D.